Very, very impressive. What have been some of your major challenges in implementing data?
So our biggest challenge has been having an effective data management system, a system that really pulls the data for teachers in a meaningful way and allows teachers to really know what their students are able to do and what their students know, and then use that data to adjust their instruction.
And how have you addressed this in your district?
So what we've done is we've really narrowed the data pieces. So because we still do not have what we would call a supreme data management system. So we've limited the number of data sources that we use, and we make sure they're our most meaningful data sources.
What is your biggest lesson that you've learned that you would share with other school leaders about using data to improve student achievement?
I think the biggest lesson I've learned is that we have to have our staff involved with us, helping us to determine what is the data that's most meaningful to them. And then we had to be willing to adjust. So if what we thought at first was the right data to be looking at, and then as we got in and as those teachers got in their PLCs and were using that data, if it wasn't the right data, then we had to be willing to change that up and adjust and begin to use a different data source. And so flexibility. We had to be very flexible in our work around our data. And then we had to be honest with ourselves about what the data was telling us and willing to make some hard decisions around where our resources should go to make sure that we were supporting the students who we most needed to support.
Thank you. Those were all great points, which I'm sure that other colleagues and district peers around the country will appreciate. Speaking of colleagues and peers and advice, one area of advice which you give to school leaders and how they would go about building a data-driven culture that would engage everyone.
The most important thing in order to have a data-driven culture is to really be willing to have the data at the classroom level and at the individual student level. When we look at data district-wide or even school-wide, it's not near as meaningful to the individual teacher or to the individual parent as it is when the teacher is able to see how his or her students in their classroom